Next up, we have a very simple, I hesitate to even call it a technique, but sure, a simple technique for prompting ChatGPT that involves providing a specific cue. By cueing it exactly where we want it to respond or where we want it to start its response. Sometimes you may want to alter the output that you're getting. For example, if I ask it to generate me a list of dog names, it doesn't always do this, but I could ask it something like, I don't even know if we want to do dog names. Sure, generate me a list of fantasy-inspired dog names for a male dog. A lot of the time it'll say, sure, here's a list, or I can do that. I'm excited to help you, or something, and then it will actually start the list. And honestly, it's not a big deal if it does that. But if I want to explicitly cue it, I can. And I can say, instead of just generate me a list of dog names, I can say, generate me a list of dog names for a male dog, and then start your list here. And I can even give it a bullet point. And there we go. It just starts immediately. Now, that's a simple example, but there's a lot of these situations where you may get the exact output you want, plus a little preamble at the beginning that you maybe don't want. And you can just ignore it, sure. But if you want to eliminate that, if you're doing something where you have a very specific output that you're looking for, you can cue it and tell it start on this bullet point, or start with this number if you wanted to. If I stop this generating, start your list here. And it will just begin with a numbered list. And we've seen this sort of thing before in a much simpler example, right? When we did sentiment analysis, we did something like classify the sentiment of the following text. And then we could have an input example like I hate you. And then the output is clearly going to be negative. And then I can give it input again. And the input will be, hello, I am in love with you. And I can prompt it exactly where I can give it a cue where I want it to put the output. In this way, I'm hoping, and this is usually the case, it's not going to go on a whole spiel and try and explain to me, oh, I think that's mostly positive, and here's why. If I just want the word positive, I'm cueing it. Now compare that to if I didn't provide the output, it's going to copy my format and actually write the word output. And it's not a big deal here, but if I'm doing this programmatically, if I'm using a large language model API where I need to just get a value out, I'm using something with some sort of code, then this is unnecessary. And I probably just want the specific value, positive, negative, or neutral. So this is just another example of queuing the model with some sort of starter piece of text. Put your text after this. You can often use colons, bullet points, an asterisk or a dash to make a bullet point, a numbered list, or just the word output or response, and it will fill in that blank.